The History of Cryptopunks. This is an NFT project that was actually created in 2017 by Larva Labs that has grown tremendously. The other one that is actually pretty important, I would put in the same category, is CryptoKitties. Now, CryptoPunks has really taken this over in Daily DeFi, this daily series that we do on decentralized finance markets. We actually cover juicy NFTs along with DeFi Pulse, where we look at things like total value locked in DeFi. We look at things like compound dominance, or was maker dominance previously, and then also the DeFi Pulse Index. And then when we move over to juicy NFTs, we see that typically the one with the most dominance is CryptoPunks. And that's why I wanted to talk about the history of this, because it's such a fascinating story. So Larva Labs in 2017 came up with this idea, okay, we're going to mint NFTs on the blockchain. And this was before, this in 2021 and 2020, obviously, NFTs really came to a crazy rise. SNL did a thing on them. It kind of hit this mass adoption where people really start understanding these. Celebrities start getting in. And this is kind of that hype wave that we saw, similar to the 2017 bull run, where you see all this craze going up. And on the way up, the question people are always asking themselves, is it going to continue to go up? And with NFTs, I think the interesting thing here is the use cases are tremendous. It's not just digital art. But with CryptoPunks, it's important to understand that they actually gave these away for free. So 10,000 NFTs, CryptoPunks, individually scarce NFTs with CryptoPunks. They're basically pixelated pictures of different faces. They all have different features. Some of them are kind of standard. Some of them are a bit more rare. And what I've came to see a lot of people are starting to use them for is profile pictures. So I don't really spend a ton of time on social media, but I mean on some of these people that own really rare CryptoPunks use these as their avatars, which I think is so interesting, because when we move to kind of more of this this decentralized digital economy, I think this is something where instead of just having a picture of their face, they're going to use their CryptoPunk, which I think is pretty awesome. It was actually inspired, if I remember correctly, by the London punk scene, the art scene. And again, when a lot of people look at this, like let's say you asked your parents or your grandparents, okay, let me show you this on my phone. Do you think this is worth $10,000, $100,000, $1 million? And especially with this Christies auction coming up with the CryptoPunks, I think these are going to go for even more. And over time, the people that are buying this it's obviously in Ethereum. So you're purchasing this with something that maybe you purchased for $10 and now it's over $2,000. So again, when a lot of people see these numbers, just like the Christie's auction for the Beeple NFT, the Everyday, that went for $69 million, what you have to understand is a lot of the people that are purchasing these things have made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. So they see the upside to this. Typically, the investor is not someone who's just coming in from, let's say, a long career in the bond market or in the commodities market that's, now he's gung-ho on NFTs. No. Typically, these investors are cryptocurrency investors native. So they understand, again, the benefits of this beautiful decentralized economy, while so many people have no idea what it is and they just kind of brush it off and call it a scam. And this is one of those things where whenever someone does this, Raoul Pal had a great interview with Anthony Pompliano, and they discussed how people call things shitcoins in the cryptocurrency space, these altcoin shitcoins. And Raoul goes, which I love, I mean, he's one of my favorite investors. He goes, when somebody calls something a shitcoin or just brushes it off, tosses a label at it like that, he says, that's my opportunity, because I'm more curious than that person. I have an upper leg on them. So when anyone just throws off, oh, NFTs are a scam, or this is a scam, or this is trash, or what, these binary ways of thinking, it's a very, very primal way of thinking, and they're not nuanced in it. They're not going, okay, what are the probabilities here? What are the probabilities there? Let's actually kind of form a thesis around this, test this against an antithesis, and then form the synthesis, which is then the new thesis. This is how I like to think of investing. It should be an experimental process, just like the Socratic method of thinking, okay, apply this to a lot of different investment strategies. So again, with CryptoPunks, the interesting thing is when they were originally announced in 2017, they were given away practically. You could literally claim your own CryptoPunk, and guess what the transaction fee there? Obviously, if you're doing anything on the Ethereum blockchain, nothing is really free there, even things like an airdrop. You have to pay a little bit of a transaction fee, and at that point in time, 11 cents. That's right, I know. Some people are probably angry. 11 cents, it's crazy. And now most of them are going at least upwards of tens of thousands of dollars, especially the rare ones. It gets even further. But when you're looking at the total NFT market, this is why I think this CryptoPunks are so important, is because they have that name brand. They have this historical kind of nostalgia. I think even though obviously this is new, when you look at okay Pokemon cards or people collecting like old video games like for the GameCube. I remember I grew up playing the GameCube, or somebody playing the N64 or the Sega Genesis. All these different things, they have this nostalgia factor, and I really think CryptoPunks will have this nostalgia factor next bull run, the bull run after that, and in 2040 when people look back and go, man, remember those 2017 days where you could get those CryptoPunks for 11 cents? Remember in those 1980 days where you could get Pokemon cards or whatever collectible thing? You could get baseball cards for blank cents. I don't know. I don't really follow that market that much. But again, that's a whole nother investment sector, is just collectibles in general. But when you're looking at these on the blockchain where they're verifiable, that's one of the most important things that I think is beautiful about NFTs, is you don't have to have this issue with counterfeits if you know how to properly do your own research with NFTs, especially if you're spending a lot of money and you hire an expert in this space. There's zero way of forging it because it's verifiable on the blockchain. There's no possible way of forging it. It's the most secure computing network there is, the blockchain. So again, when you're even looking at this with things like selling precious artwork, selling things like maybe collectible cards, maybe, I don't know, collectible books, watches. There's a massive forgery market. But on the blockchain, you cannot do this. It is literally impossible. And I'm not going to go into details about explaining this. If you really don't understand it, maybe leave me a comment down below and I can do a video on this, how NFTs kind of remove this issue of forgery. And there's so much more aspects here, guys. What you have to understand is not only does this apply to artwork, but I'm more interested in how NFTs can apply to real estate. How this can apply to things like driver's licenses, to birth certificates, to passports, things like this. And I'm not saying that a government should control this at all. I'm saying you should own your own sovereign rights to these things that we have in the physical world, because in the physical world, you have human error here. Again, somebody can, if you have your birth certificate, if you have your passport, if you have your driver's license with you, somebody can take that with you. I'm here in Turkey. If at one point in this trip, somebody, let's see, like when I'm crossing the border into Armenia, somebody takes my passport. What can I do about that? Well, if it's on the blockchain, there's no way, because I hold it in my own private keys. I hold it in my hardware wallet. So you have to take these things into account. I think NFTs have such an incredible use case. Again, just to kind of wrap this up. So with CryptoPunks, it was made in 2017 by Larva Labs. You could claim these for around 11 cents in Ethereum transaction fees. And there's 10,000 fixed supply. I think I mentioned that. But yeah, pretty crazy. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything more on CryptoPunk, if you want to see maybe a part 2. There's a lot more I could talk about. But I love this space. I don't necessarily speculate a lot on a lot of this digital art. I more like to think about it as I personally like to buy like an index fund of this. So that's why I talk about the B20 token, the Beeple 20, which is basically an index of all of his artwork. So anyways, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, button all, invest global, and until next time.